Yo! Rishi here from therippedindian.com. How much protein do we actually need to build muscle? The fitness industry and society in general is obsessed with protein. Protein over the past decade or so has gone viral. What I want you guys to do is to take a step back and just think about how information has been presented to us and how that impacts our decisions on what to buy and what to eat. So what I'm going to do in this video is debunk some of the myths that we've been led to believe about how much protein we need and back everything I'm saying up using scientific evidence. So let's start. If we look at history, in the 70s and the 80s, that's when protein powder, protein supplements started becoming popular in the bodybuilding community as a way of meeting conveniently their needs for protein. In the 90s, coupled with a global increase in appetite for being healthy, for being fit, for having that Hollywood physique, protein powder starts getting more and more commercial. The food and beverage companies start getting involved. In the past decade or so, protein supplements have gone viral. Not just fitness companies, but food and beverage companies now have realized and are capitalizing on the humongous opportunity that's protein. So now you've got things like high protein cereal, high protein bread, high protein chocolate, for God's sake, all right? In 2016, the US protein powder market brought in $16 billion. That's just protein powder, that's just in the US, all right? So let's take a look at some facts. The average person needs about 60 grams of protein per day to function. When we exercise, when we do weightlifting, we need slightly more, all right? And it's just added fuel for your muscles to be able to rest, repair, and grow. So how do you know how much protein is enough? A simple equation called the nitrogen balance, all right? Nitrogen is a simple compound that's unique to protein. It gives us a direct measure and tells us whether or not we have enough protein in our body, all right? So are we protein positive, negative, or protein neutral? As you can imagine, for weightlifting, to get increases in muscle size, muscle strength, you want to be in an anabolic state or a positive nitrogen balance. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some studies that were done, in my opinion, when they were objective, when no food companies had started, jumping on the bandwagon of marketing and selling protein, all right? So the first one, 1988, Walber et al. Found that 1.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight was sufficient to maintain a positive nitrogen balance in bodybuilders that were cutting. So that's when they're in a calorie deficit. They did not need more than 1.6 grams of protein. Further to that, Tamapolsky et al. In 1988 found that 0.37 grams of protein per pound of body weight was sufficient to maintain a positive nitrogen balance in elite bodybuilders. So those with over 5 years experience. Additionally, just a third one, just to hit the nail on the head, another study by Lemon et al. In 1992, what they found was that there was no difference in either strength or muscle gains in bodybuilders consuming anything more than 0.6 grams. They even tried 1.1 grams, but anything above 0.6 grams was just completely useless, all right? Now think about this for a second. All of these studies were done around 1988, 1990. That's 20 years ago. That's before protein powder, protein supplements started becoming commercial, before the food companies, had started making an active effort in marketing and selling protein in their products. So if you look at what's happening now, the norm in the fitness industry, what are we told? How much do we need? 1 gram per pound of body weight, that magic formula, all right? That equates to 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight. So instead of 1.6, now they're saying we need 2.2. That's a whole 0.6 grams of added protein that we now need to meet our needs, all right? Now, 0.6 grams, it might not sound like a lot, but if you actually do the math, you'll realize why they actually recommend that much, all right? This is where your jaw is literally going to drop. When I was doing my research, when I was writing the book last year and actually going through the journey of cutting, I was gobsmacked at how many people, 99% of people believe that that's what you need. But if you go back and look at studies that were done, and I actually went through the process of cutting, I lost 14 kilos, and all I had was 1.6 grams. I didn't lose, muscle mass. I still got shredded. I could still see my abs. Believe me, this is going to blow your mind, all right? So what they recommend is that you need 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight instead of 1.6. That extra 0.6, for somebody like me, 70 kilos, that's an added 40 grams. So instead of the 110 that I need per day, what they're saying is I need to get 154 grams. That's a difference of 40 grams per day. All right. Now, guess what they recommend you take from their products. So any protein powder that you use, most of them recommend 2 scoops at about 20 grams each. That's 40 grams. All right. Can you see how that the missing 40 grams that I was not able to get from my diet, magically now, if I buy that protein powder, I'll be able to get it. It's a classic create a problem that doesn't exist and fill it with your product kind of business model. All right. So look, it sounds like I'm ranting against fitness companies, nutrition companies. I'm not. Protein powder is very convenient. A lot of people use it. I use it myself. The point I'm trying to make is, let's not focus on protein as the be all and end all. Let's focus on eating holistically, eating foods that are high in nutrients, carbs, fats, good foods that will give you power, will give you energy throughout the day. And let's just not make protein the sole focus of everything we're trying to do. Okay, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, I provide personalized coaching. So if you're at a point where you're getting started, you kind of know what to do, but you're not completely sure, reach out to me. You can email me, rishi@therippedindian.com, or Instagram me @RishiDaveCoaching. Love to help. Peace and love.